Professor Mahe, as a small island country and with a huge exclusive economic zone that you have, which almost equals the land size of India practically, what kind of challenges do you see in actually maximizing the potential that you have to tap those resources? So as a macro level, I want to hear that. One question to Dr. Hanling Wang. You talked about the South China Sea Development Fund. Could you give a little idea as to how that fund is being utilized in the overall objective of sustainable blue economy development? Thank you.
Okay, hang on. We'll just take one. Take one at a time. So, Professor Ramila.
Yeah, thank you for that. Actually, one of the biggest challenge we had when we wanted to exploit the sector was financing, because whatever you would like to develop would require extensive financing. And in terms of the exclusive economic zone, we had also quite a lot of, I would say, like legal framework, like acts that did not allow for certain endeavors. So right now we're working to modify all these acts and bills and even international conventions that we signed. And also we do not have the required equipment. I mean, we do not have huge vessels, ships, etc. to go and exploit the ocean. And one of the reasons is that's why we went towards a lot of partnership, international partnership. Yeah.
Dr. Wang?
Regarding the South China Sea Cooperation Fund, it was set up unilaterally by the Chinese government in 2011 during a conference in Bali of Indonesia on the implementation of the DOC. DOC is a document signed by China and ASEAN countries regarding the declaration of contact of parties in the South China Sea. In that declaration, it provides that China and ASEAN countries should cooperate in low sensitive maritime cooperation area, including marine scientific research, environmental protection, conservation and management of marine resources, marine scientific research, and including those leading to joint development of marine resources, including oil and gas fisheries, and also search and rescue, and education and training. So China set up the 3 billion IMB fund to facilitate the cooperation in these fields between China and ASEAN countries. And there are many projects, including training programs and maritime search and rescues and maritime training program, including the capacity building, have been going on and using that funds. Thank you.
Up in the back corner. We'll ask people just to stick to one question from now on.
One question to you only, sir. You distribute. Sir, in this blue economy, I would like to know, there is one department of botany in Delhi was engaged in fish farming in ocean. How far? What is the revenue there? I would like to know, Walter Upland University was engaged in pearl culture, pearl aquaculture. What is their revenue? This is 10 years back, sir. I would like to know, the plankton as per the Indian Ocean Institute from Antarctica and Arctic is reducing due to climate change and affecting the fish catch in Australia, Indian waters and Mauritius. I want to know the present position.
Okay, I'll cut you off there because that seemed to be a one question in 4 parts. I'll have to take some of those questions on notice, I think. I hope the staff I've got those down because some of them were a bit specific. So we'll come back to you with the answers to the extent that we can. I'll just take one question down here and then I'll come across to this side.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Admiral Anup Singh. My question is to Dr. Wang. I think coming as a senior scholar from CAS in China, it was really heartening to see a full slide and more in respect of UNCLAWS. So all those things that you said, if one were to ask what's happened to UNCLAWS and its strength and depth, when the South China Sea issue came to a negative, and particularly defying the PCA and throwing the verdict in the waste paper basket. What happened to the respect of UNCLAWS? Because the PCA comes under the UNCLAWS. Second thing, however, since the theme of this seminar, this session is not sea disputes or South China Sea, it is the blue economy. I'll stick to the blue economy. The UNCLAWS asks all maritime state members of UNCLAWS to ensure protection of the marine environment, in other words, the ecosystem. China has completely demolished the ecosystem around those islands which were rocks or maritime features underwater by destroying forever the coral systems.
We need a question mark here soon, sir.
What is your answer insofar as this contradiction from your slide in respect of UNCLAWS? And the last point, you said that this is a response to his question, that India, for strange reasons or words to that effect, is not joined up the BRI. The first reason is that China has violated all norms of international living and certain conventions by joining up with Pakistan over a disputed territory in making the CPEC. How do you expect India to join up? And so far as the Maritime Silk Road is concerned, each time you have approached us, we've asked you to give us terms, conditions, boundaries, limits, what is good for us in it, what is good for you. There are no answers forthcoming. Thank you.
Dr. Wang, I'm conscious that some of those questions will be sort of outside the scope of what an academic can answer, but give it your best shot.
Regarding the benefit of Maritime Silk Road initiative, I think your government, the Indian government, has an answer to that. The Modi's government is very wise that it chose to join China's initiative, including AIIB. So your view may be different from those of your government. Second question, regarding the South China Sea arbitration, I should correct you that it is not ruled by the PCA. It's not ruled by Permanent Court of Arbitration. It's not also IDSA. So it's confused. Some non-experts think it's ruled by Permanent Court of Arbitration or IDSA or International Court. No. It's an independent tribunal unilaterally called to set up by the Philippines without consent of the Chinese government. And as you may know that in 2006, the Chinese government, like Indian government, submit an official statement to the UN Secretary General to the effect that China does not accept any third-party compulsory dispute settlement procedures under the control, under the UNCLAWS. India does the same as China. And I think if something happened like this, I think the Indian government may do the same thing, because you have the same statement regarding the ruling. As we know that this is politically driven. Even some of the international judges of IDSA also mentioned it is politically driven. So we cannot analyze this or view this ruling from a purely legal perspective. As you may have known, after the ruling, the Philippine President have set it aside the decision and negotiate or cooperate with China. The Philippine government choose not to talk about the decision. You know why? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Let's give some.
Okay,
let's give some.
Let me respond to the call.
Just very briefly, because there's a lot of people who
the
want to ask
ruling
questions.
means the ruling says the arbitration ruling says China has the responsibility for cooperation with other countries in protecting the marine environment, including coral reefs. My question to you is that how China alone cooperate? You know, in international law, there is a general provision of international cooperation. How an international tribunal asks China to cooperate with other countries without consent or the same perspective or attitude from other countries. For instance, if I ask you to cooperate with me, I would ask you whether you agree or not. Okay? And do you think other countries, including the Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, do they have the responsibility to cooperate? Why China alone bear the burden and responsibility to cooperate? How a single country bear the only responsibility to cooperate? As just like blue economy, I mentioned that we should
I think
have
we're gonna need
international
to move on,
cooperation in blue
Doctor.
economy. How a country alone can cooperate? Thank you.
Okay. Good shot. I'll take one from sort of